I think there are things that Southeast Asian countries can learn from Australia, and Australia can learn from Southeast Asian countries. In Australia, we have developed very good technologies in many areas to help reduce carbon emissions. We also have some policies and rules that are actually quite effective in reducing emissions. For example, our Greener Government Buildings program, where government departments advanced money by the Treasury to become more energy efficient, and then they pay that money back over time. That's led to very significant savings, up to 50% savings in energy in many cases, and that means less pollution, but it also means a better bottom line for government departments. We're also seeing some of our major property companies now much more energy efficient in their buildings. A number of the big companies like Investor have instituted retrofits of their buildings, which have significantly reduced their energy efficiency, reduced their emissions, I should say, and that is leading to a much better environmental outcome, but also a better bottom line outcome. I think what we're learning is that being energy efficient, being mindful of our carbon pollution, can also be good for business. There are really four things that countries can do to reduce their emissions while still growing. The first is to be much more energy efficient, and that means being more efficient in our buildings, in our industry, and also in our cars, our transport. The second thing is to use much more renewable energy, and we can have a much greater proportion of our energy now coming from solar power, or from wind or geothermal, and that reduces the amount of carbon emissions per every unit of energy. The third thing that we should do is then use that low carbon electricity that we're powering through renewable energy for other things that we currently use fossil fuels for now. Or we could use low emissions electricity in industry rather than burning coal or gas. And then the final thing that we can do, and all countries can do, is plant more trees or not cut trees down. And we know that in Indonesia, for example, deforestation has been one of the biggest causes of carbon emissions. What we need to do is plant more trees, not tear them down. So they're the four things: energy efficiency, renewable energy in electricity, using that low carbon electricity in other ways, and growing trees. There are lots of challenges in decarbonising economies. The first challenge is habit. Human beings are creatures of habit. We don't like changing, and it's hard to get people to change. So we have to provide significant incentives or regulations for them to do that. The second big barrier is that there are vested interests. Some companies make money out of the existing way of doing things, and they often push back against action. And I think the third thing is education and information. A lot of people just don't know what the opportunities are for a much more low carbon economy. And so what we need to do is help people to know what the opportunities are through better education and information.